What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the third video on the channel. This video is going to be talking about the wicks, something we have not yet actually even spoke about. But you guys have probably noticed on my charts, your charts, what the heck are they? Why have I not talked about them yet? Why do they impact the size of a candle? Why is these ones a little bit bigger than these ones down here? We're going to get to all that in this video here. But, we got to do a quick recap of what you guys know so far. So at this point, we know that we have bullish and bearish candlesticks. Make this one green. We know that these candlesticks can be different sizes, right? Different sizes. This one's small, this one bigger. We know that all of these candlesticks, they have the bullish ones open at the bottom and close at the top, where the bearish candlesticks are the complete opposite. We know that the size is a direct correlation with how much price moves up or down. And we actually, in the last video, we went ahead and showcased how we can calculate the areas on the inside by taking the top numbers and subtracting it from the bottom numbers to find out, like I said, the area or how much price moved in a given area. What we haven't talked about is the wicks, right? So let me do this. I'm going to start off with just one candle. We'll make it pretty simple. And on this candle here, we know that it is the body, or if you didn't know, you know now. This is considered the body of the candle, which is composed of, like I said, and as you guys know, the open and the close. Now we are here to talk about the wicks. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those on right now. And what we need to understand about the wicks is that they are a part of the true range of the candle. Okay. So the wicks showcase the true range of price movement, right? So what we're going to do here is we know that this candlestick here, it has to represent a time interval. Now for this example here, I'm already on the monthly chart, so I'll just stick to the monthly chart, not to confuse anyone. It doesn't matter though, the time interval. This could be a 1 minute candle. This could be a 2 hour candle. What's important to know is that at some point, this candlestick is going to start and it's going to close, right? That's corresponded with the open and the close. Now, what we understand now is that we have these wicks here, and you guys are going to want to take note that the wicks represent on a bullish candle the high and the low, right? So since this candlestick represents a month here, sorry, this is the low. Since this candlestick represents a month, we need to understand that price at some point in this month, it opened here, but instead of going up right away, it actually decreased at some point, right? So if I were to take this wick and give you guys kind of a different look at it, this bottom part of the candle would be red, right? Because in this area where the low was created, price decreased from the open. Now, as you see here, there's never a candle that's the same, or sorry, there's never one candle that's two different colors. So the way it's represented is when price creates this low and then moves up back over where price opened, right? This now gets turned green and you're left with a wick. Because at some point, price made its way down here. Now, the same thing goes for the top. When price goes from, say, decreasing to increasing to making its way all the way to the top, still with this low, right? Because this low would obviously still be a part of the candlestick. It makes in this month, right? Because this is going to represent a month because we're on the monthly time frame. This at some point makes its way all the way up here. And we know this to be the high. Now, my question is to you, does price close here? If we know that this is the candle, the body and the wicks, this is the whole candle, does price close here to create this candle? Well, no. We know price closes here, somewhere around here. So before that month actually comes to an end, this makes its way down, right? Which creates a wick once again. So this now is the showcases the true movement of price in that given month. So before, when we calculated the movement of price, we only did the calculation on the top part of the body and the bottom part of the body. Well, now you're going to know that you are going to want to do it from the top of the wick, the high of the wick, to the low of the wick. Okay? Super, super simple. If I were to kind of break this down, you have, like I said, this is the end result. So that candle's the end result. You have an open. At some point, let's draw like a really thin. So you have an open. At some point, this candle goes down. And then the next part, candle goes back up, comes green again, wick, and then we have the next part, makes its way all the way up here, and then price decreases from the high and creates a close, and then we have a wick, right? So imagine these two are the same. And then when you go and find the movement of price in the overall candlestick, like I said, let's do it on an actual real candlestick. I'm going to want to do it on, let's find a clear candle here. Let's just do this one. This one's good. Make this gray. Price got all the way up here. Like, do I have a, is this the, that's not that one. What am I looking for here? Price no. So that's the high. This is the low. We take the top number, we subtract it by the bottom number, right? So this, subtract this. $50,786. Get rid of the decimals. Minus 37.15. The true movement of price, that is wrong. 50,786 minus 37,315. The true movement of price is $13,000. for $30,471. Okay. So if I was going to put this in like one sentence short for you guys and being able to understand the wicks. So you have a candlestick, right? This candlestick represents a time interval, right? In this instance, it was the monthly. In that monthly time frame, price opened up at a certain level, and before the close, price decreased from the price it opened from, so it decreased, and then it ended up before the end of the monthly candle close, increasing far higher up than where it opened up, but the candlestick closed at a lesser price than the highest point that it got to in that given month or time interval you're using. That, in a split sentence, is how wicks are created, right? What I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to attach the homework in the link in the bio. Make sure you go over it. It's always good to refresh, or put to action what you just learned on paper by answering questions you now know the answer to and reinforming yourself of what you just heard to be true. So keep doing that on a repeat. That's going to be in the link. Follow, subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, throw it down in the comments. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.